next speaker, I would also like a bit of a round of applause for the next speaker, who's one of the main sponsors of the event, Ms. Erica Moore. Everyone, round of applause. As a small introduction, Erica Moore is the Sales Director for Sage Interact Africa and the Middle East, leading sales strategy, operations, and a team focused on driving market growth and cloud migration for existing Sage customers. She collaborates closely with channel partners to support their sales efforts and cloud business strategies. Prior to this role, Erica spent 8 years in Sage's payroll and HR division, progressing from sales account executive to leading a field sales team across South Africa and beyond. She holds a BCom's honors in marketing management and has a background in marketing, customer service, and guest relations with international experience in London and the Caribbean. Good people, Erica Moore.
So I grew up in the 80s. Back then, things were a lot simpler. It felt like back then we only had like 8 different brands of vehicles on the road. We used to call it a Peugeot, but now we know it's a Peugeot. We played with balls, we rode our bikes like Stranger Things. And I think the biggest dream of any kid back then was to own a Sony Walkman, or maybe video games. And the closest thing we got to AI was watching Knight Rider. Then when I went to university, there was no Google, hardly any even cell phones. We had Alta Vista, we had Yahoo, and Aardvark. Those were the search engines. And I remember sitting in class one day, and one of the lecturers said, in the distant future, you'll be able to use your watches to buy coffee and board an airplane. And everyone's like, no, that's impossible. And fast forward a couple of decades, and here we are, surrounded by tech every minute of every day. I think none of us can imagine a day without your cell phone unless you're sitting on an island somewhere. And watching Netflix, for example, has made things so much easier. Thinking of the machine learning built into the solution, suggesting for you what to watch next, so much easier than scrolling through 200 options. Streaming your favorite music, for example, or also, I'm sure most of you used Waze or Google Maps to get here this morning. I think that's still the best invention, even though it still sent me past Grayston. But that's where we are now. So today's topic is tech forward, what it looks like in the finance world, and payroll and HR as well. So I'd like to get a feel for within the room. Please get your cell phones out. Scan the QR code. If you can't scan, you can log into slido.com. I'd like to get a feel for whom of you are currently making use of AI within your businesses. It could be a chatbot. It could be machine learning tools that you've got in your solutions, some automation, or even maybe something along the lines of automated emails drafted on your behalf. Are you all in? So now, and this is why I brought my own, 78% of you saying that you're currently making use of AI-specific tools, which is great. That's actually in line with what I'll show you next. So why Sage? So I just want to talk a little bit about Sage if you're not familiar with Sage. And we've got more than 40 years experience in small, medium businesses. Over 20 million people are paid globally through Sage Payroll Solutions. We've got an ecosystem of 95,000 partners and 80,000 accountants. And just another touch point on this slide, for example, is the 17 AI patents that we've filed since 2021. So if you don't know if you're running on a Sage solution, I'm going to list a few, and then you can just think of yes or no, whether what you're using. So it could be Sage Business Cloud Accounting or Payroll, Sage Pastel Payroll or Accounting, also called Sage 50, Sage 200 or Sage Evolution, Sage 300 or ACPAC, Sage Intact, Sage X3, VIP Classic or Premier Payroll, Sage Business Cloud Payroll Professional, and 300 people. Those are some of the Africa, Middle East products that we've got in our stack. So the purpose of Sage, well, the strategic framework is built on our purpose and ambition. And we always say we want to knock down barriers so you as a business can thrive. But also with that, we're bringing in Sage Copilot, so to create the world's most trusted and thriving network for SMBs. Now, Sage Copilot is not the same as Microsoft Copilot. We've built our own Copilot. It's already in action in the US and the UK, and we'll probably launch it within the next, I would say, 3 to 6 months within South Africa. So our strategy is to connect and grow and deliver. So we want to connect all of you. We want to connect with you. We want to grow your business. We want to grow with you and deliver insights through AI. And it's all based on what we call our core values: being human, being brave, being trusted advisors, and then all in all to simplify everything we do and you can do. So I've mentioned a couple of the products that we have, and that's only, like I said, Africa, Middle East. We're running and operating in multiple different countries with hundreds of products. And obviously, we cannot support all those products forever going forward. So we are definitely focused on cloud. Native cloud, to be exact, which is our biggest focus, and most of our investments go into native cloud, which means solutions that you access directly on the internet. Why? It's because it's more scalable in general. So you can use it from really small startup all the way through to enterprise if you really need to. And then when it comes to configuration, you've got that conundrum of configuration versus customization. Configuration is sort of half-built. You just configure what you need. Customization means we give you the empty shell. You either need to build it or somebody else needs to build it for you. And every time you run an update, you need to reconfigure. So cost of ownership is generally less because now you don't need, if we run the cloud for you, look after the security and updates, you don't need an IT team. I'm not saying you should fire everybody, but you don't need as big an IT team. You don't need a server room. You don't need security software. And that all comes together with data redundancy. On the product that we sell currently, which is our main native cloud solution, Sage Intacct, we've got 5 pods globally. So there are 2 in the US, UK, Australia, etc. And then when we update the pod, everyone and everything is updated simultaneously, globally, and the next morning when you wake up, you've got all the new fancy features. We do updates every quarter, so every 3 months, and sometimes with these updates you get additional 200 new features that you can decide, do you want to use or not. Help files on the system just to assist you in using those. So looking at AI specifically, we've got traditional AI, generative AI, then there's finance AI versus normal AI. So many different AI types. I'm not an expert on AI, although I get pop-ups almost every day on Facebook trying to say, would you like to do a course in AI because you're over 40 and you're going to fall behind? But we've got AI-specific finance tools, and that's something we are focusing on currently. So ChatGPT is just the non-finance, obviously. Although there is a ChatGPT course for accountants, by the way, if you didn't know. So traditional AI are things like machine learning. So it looks at trends within your software and transactions that you've done. It flags anomalies, risk, fraud, and it also assists with automation processes. Then you get generative AI. Now that's the fancy brother or sister. That basically creates new content. So it works on machine learning algorithms, still looks at the trends, but then it builds new content. And that could be in the form of visual displays or charts, text, and the coolest of all, simulations and projections. So I want to know what my business is going to look like 5 years from now based on what's currently happening, or if we change X, Y, and Z, and generative AI will do that for you. So that is what Sage Copilot is designed to do, to assist in that way, and then do simulations and projections based on that. So there was a survey done recently called The Secrets of a Successful CFO. And over 12,000 people were surveyed, over 1,000 people in Africa, many different countries, I think about 9 different countries. And what they've seen is there are specific trends popping up in the transformation of the CFO roles. So definitely technological shifts like I've just discussed, a lot more tech coming into play, a lot less manual, a lot of AI, a lot of machine learning. And then also the strategic leadership and adaptability of the CFO. You're moving from a back office function to become a frontline strategic force. And with that, you need to bring in the new tech, be the front runner with the new tech, but also do it in an ethical way, and then streamline your business and bring it all together. So what does the future look like? What are the challenges? We've got the work-life balance dilemma. So I tried to think the other day, when did we actually start using Microsoft Teams? We were never allowed to use Zoom. They said it's dangerous for us. But we were blocked from that, so we used Teams. But did we use it before or during COVID? When did it actually launch? And we actually had it before COVID, but nobody ever used it. We went to see customers and partners, and everything was face-to-face, and then all of a sudden, lockdown. Now the entire world has changed. I've got Teams on my phone. I'm in meetings while I'm collecting my children. You can sit in a restaurant and do all sorts of things, and you can work from anywhere. So the CFO needs to manage that as well. So it's a work-life balance dilemma, and it's important that we maintain that work-life balance because everyone's now used to working from home, and now nobody wants to go back to the office, which is also a problem. The technology's dual role. So technology provides insight and efficiencies, but the CFOs also need to keep up with all the innovation going on, and with that, continuous learning to stay ahead of the curve. Like I said, there is a ChatGPT course for accountants, which is apparently quite interesting, cool. So the world's changing. 75% of CFOs say their responsibility for digital transformation has increased in the last year alone. On the payroll and HR side, 80% of finance leaders agree that AI and machine learning will have a major impact on HR recruitment and talent management. And that links in with LinkedIn. Like a colleague of mine calls it Lickit. She can't say LinkedIn. So we own the tech finance fusion, not us CFOs in the room. You need to own it. What does that mean? You need to take your financial expertise and blend that with your technological knowledge and become those front runners and strategic leaders in the environment that you work in. So back to the secrets of a successful CFO. I need to say it slowly because there are lots of S's. What was our score? 78%. So 78% of you said you are using some sort of AI tool. It's quite close to what we said from the survey, which is 86%. So 86% said they are using it in some capacity. The sad thing is only 49% of those use a financial specific tool. But what we've done is, and I've got a team next door that can actually showcase some of the solutions for you if you want to have a look at it. We've got 2 really cool tools within Sage Intacct that we've built in, which is finance specific. The one is called the General Ledger Outlier Detector. So what it does is it's a machine learning tool, looks at your historical, your current transactions that's happening within your business, and then it flags an outlier. So say, for example, somebody's trying to post a transaction, they added an extra 0, for example, on a travel account, and then it goes, this doesn't look right. Based on what you've done in the past, this is an anomaly. Would you like to review it, or would you like it to post it to your general ledger? So makes your auditing in the end a lot easier. The other one is AP automation, and AP automation, and it logs in with the purchase orders that we've also got. Now I can't remember the word, Michael. But anyway, so what it does is you've got your purchase order, and when your supplier invoice arrives, it could be via email or whatever the case might be. It could even be handwritten, although that's very ancient. You bring it into the solution. It then maps with the purchase order and the supplier details and gives you a breakdown of that supplier invoice already. So what we've seen is it saves you 11 minutes per supplier invoice. Now that doesn't sound like a lot, but if you've got 250 invoices every month, you're saving 46 hours a month, freeing up time for the AP team to do something a bit more valuable. So, over the next 3 years, keeping up with new technology, we are future-proofing, and 78% of leaders said that it has positively impacted their C-suite relationships, and that is through automation. So, instead of extracting all the information into Excel and then manipulating the data, because most of us do that, right? Make it look correct, and you send it off to the board, and then you present it like that. So now what we've done is we've got colorful dashboards, reports, real-time live data in the system that you can view even on your phone, and it's available anywhere, anytime. And it shows your profitability, loss, and anything else that you might want to see, and you can build your own dashboards. 81% said it allowed me to focus more valuable time on valuable tasks. And that brings us back to AP automation. If you're saving 46 hours a month, then you've got a lot of extra time in your hand to do something but more valuable. Last slide of stats. But you're mostly finance people, so I thought you'd like numbers, so you thought you'd like the stats. So, most CFOs, 86%, said predict that technology will significantly change their roles, primarily through AI, machine learning, and automation. 61% expecting an increased use of AI-powered tools, and an equal number looking forward to more digital transformation. Nearly 60% foresee more automation of business processes, while 58% are gearing up for greater reliance on predictive analytics. So, within the Sage space, on the AI side, in accounting, just want to highlight 3 things on the slide. The one is anomaly detection. Again, highlighting the fact that if you use the general ledger outlier, it can pick up anomalies for you and streamline that audit process, because you're not going to pick it up at the end of the financial year, you pick it up straight away. Then predictive models. With Sage Copilot, you'll be able to run predictive models and simulations of what could be and what could happen in the future. And then AP automation, recording those transactions, saving you a lot of time within that space. Then on the payroll and HR side, AI chatbots. I think a lot of us are currently using AI chatbots already. Makes a lot more sense. It's much quicker to answer. You don't need to log a ticket. You can quickly ask a question, and it provides you with feedback straight away. And then fraud detection and anomaly reporting and HR payroll, very important. Duplicate bank accounts, duplicate ID numbers, picks it up straight away. And then pre-submission validations on IRP5s. It can also flag employees' information that are missing. So on Sage Intacct, we've got a couple of 100 customers already running on the solution since we launched it in COVID, which was a good and a bad thing, because then everyone wanted cloud, but nobody had money. So it was a bit of a conundrum, but it's going really well. Sage Intacct's been around since the 80s, actually. It was launched in the US, and then Sage acquired it back in 2017, and now it's in South Africa as well. So RT Cafe is one of our customers. They've been running on it for a while. And they've got 7 different resorts throughout the country. And what Sunri said, she's the CFO, she said, we've reduced our month-end reporting time by 2 to 3 days since starting on Sage Intacct. And I had a chat with her the other day. She said she was so tired of people asking for feedback on what's happening within their divisions. She wrote 53 different dashboards, one for each person, so that they can have a view of exactly what's going on in real time within their space. So they can check their warehouse stock, they can see what's going on within the resort, and everything is now automated and in color. So at the heart of any successful AI strategy lies trust. So our CTO, Aaron Harris, had the following to say: it doesn't matter how cool the product is, if customers don't trust it, they won't use it. Brings me back to Netflix. I've been struggling for years to get my mother to watch Netflix. She thinks it's cool, but she doesn't trust it, and she's never going to watch The Crown, even though I've asked her multiple times, and I promised her she'd love it. So she sticks to what she knows. But the important thing is, what he also said was, we will never use AI in a way that erodes your trust in Sage or our products. We have we call it responsible AI that we're after. That's our focus. And we've got a Sage AI Labs called SAIL. That's the division that runs the AI. And he said, that's the benchmark. AI should never compromise the confidence your people have in your systems, your leadership, or your values. If we lead with clarity, caution, and care, we can unlock real value without losing what matters most. So,
Hello?
hello? It's my alter ego talking. So I just want to end off by saying, 78% of you are already making use of AI. That's really great. I was worried this morning. I was thinking, what if there's only like 30%? So that's good, right? So the rest of you aren't using it. Think of where you can use it. And those of you who are using it, think of more ways that you can incorporate it within your business and become those strategic leaders in the business everyone wants to be like and look up to because you've got the technological know-how. Don't be left behind. I watched a video last week on AI. Somebody said, nobody wants to make use of AI because they think they're going to get replaced, right? If you don't use AI and you don't know AI, then you're going to get replaced. So at least follow those links on Facebook that suggest if you're over 40 that you need to learn more AI, and that we can all be in the same game. Thank you so much.